Hey, Jeff here, your reviewer of beers brewed in New England. And today I'm going to be reviewing another one from Hooksett, New Hampshire's White Birch Brewery. This is one of their flagship ales. This is their Hooksett Ale. And as I've mentioned before about this particular brewery, they like to put the actual date that it was bottled, which batch number, and which bottle it was. And I'm going to read that stuff to you right now. This was bottled on December 10th, 2010. And this comes from batch number 2, and this is bottle number 978. It also tells you right here what the alcohol by volume is, and the alcohol by volume on this one is 9.5%. Now it's a Belgian style strong ale, which should be kind of on the spicy side. Should also have a kind of a thin hoppy aroma maybe, and also maybe a bit of a bolder hoppy flavor in some cases. And they tend to have a higher alcohol by volume count, which this one has. White Birch, based out of Hooksett, New Hampshire, a small town between Manchester and Concord, New Hampshire. They use their own house yeast when they brew their beers. So, let's get right into it right now and see what this will be like. Alright, top off, and there we go. Okay, and pour it into an Allagash glass. And give it a pour. Good big bottle pouring sound, that glug glug sound you get. A sort of aggressive pour that I gave it, and so it really came up with a nice head, of course. About half the glass, as a matter of fact. Of course, I'm serving this now in the vicinity of, I'd say 45 degrees, something like that. Let's take a look at the color on this. It's kind of a cloudy, hazy orange, and with some little yellow trim around the bottom. Of course, as I mentioned, there's a big head up here. This has a bit of active carbonation going on. So it's got a nice cloudy, kind of murky look to it. Let's give it a whiff. Well, there's something kind of citrusy going on here as well. I do notice some kind of a clove kind of thing maybe. Something like that perhaps. Or some sort of spice. The malts seem to be intertwined with a real citrus, lemon-like kind of aroma. Maybe more akin to a melon or something. But there's definitely something kind of fruity here, but I wouldn't call it a pear or an apple aroma. It's something more tart, you know, a more tart type of fruit that you, like a lemon perhaps, or a lime, or but it's not really strong, it's just subtle. It's just got this kind of tart scent to it going on. Okay, let's give it a taste and see what happens. Uh, 9.5 ABV, as I said. The alcohol seems to be pretty well covered in this one, but it definitely has some of the attributes of a strong ale. It has a good hop bite to it. You know, not a real strong IPA kind of hop, a real powerful hoppiness that you get in an IPA or something like that. But definitely has a good hoppy bite going on here. It seems to have a lot of character. Tends to be more tart, sour tart, something like that. Kind of leaves a dryness on the back of the throat though. But for sure there's also a hint of kind of a, you know, real citrusy bite as well as the hoppy bite. Now this is a beer you're supposed to, the Hooksett brewery itself, White Birch, says this is not one that should be cellared. It's one you should drink right away. So I'm drinking at the end of February. This was bottled middle of December. So it should be, it's still in pretty good shape. It's not one of these beers you want to keep lying around your shelf before you try it. Some of the Hooksett and White Birch brews, you do like to do that. You might want to keep it in a shelf for a little while because they're often bottle fermented, and that just adds a little nice touch to the beer when you finally open it. In this case, I'm drinking it kind of quickly, as quick as I can, within a few months of it being bottled. And so it still has a good freshness going on here as well. But I'll definitely say the words that really come to mind on this are citrus tart hops. That's what kind of what I get out of here, which seems to be well balanced altogether. And the higher alcohol, There's no alcohol taste going on per se. It's really well covered by those citrus hops that are in there as well. So that's it for this review. That again is White Birch Hooksett Ale. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again next time.